Hey, what is up? It's Crusade, and real quick, I'm just gonna talk about the recent patch. There's not too much to talk about, but we are gonna be revisiting the Trapper here. I already did some videos on him, but I got some really cool add-ons that I used with him, and I'm gonna be showing you guys the power of those add-ons. And it looks like the patch brought Dwight a haircut. I don't know if you can see him back there, but I don't know, his hair looks shorter. Anyway. They did bring some stuff in line with the Survivor perks like Sprint Burst, Saboteur, and I think, yeah, Self-Care. They nerfed them quite a bit. They didn't nerf the mechanics, but they just basically brought the numbers down a little bit. Like Sprint Burst, they increased the cooldown quite a bit. From, I think rank 3 is now like 40 seconds instead of 20 seconds, which I think that's... I mean, all those changes, I mean, they were correct. The perks are just way too strong. And I know there's a lot of survivors out there that are struggling, and you know, that they aren't happy about any sort of nerfs to the survivors, but it was necessary. The perks are still really strong, they're just, like I said, more in line with balance. And of course, there was a change to the window vaulting mechanics yet again. If you haven't read the patch notes, well, actually, even if you do read the patch notes, you're not gonna exactly know what the change was. So basically, before, when you jump through a window, if you hold shift, your character goes really fast through the window. They slide through it or whatever. They slide over a pallet, and if you don't, they just kind of climb through it. Now, if you just go through a window, you'll climb through it, and if you hold shift and you're just standing next to the window, you'll climb through it as well, but just a bit more quickly. And to actually vault or jump through the window, you actually have to be moving. You have to be sprinting, and your character has to have actual momentum. So they made window cheesing, I mean, they nerfed it a little bit, but you still can do it. They just raised the skill cap a little bit, I guess, and I think they do need to nerf it a little bit more. I definitely would like to see like some sort of cooldown, like a stamina mechanic, so you can't constantly vault through it. Because once you know how the mechanic works, you can still play with that a little bit. All right, so that was the patch changes. We're gonna be moving on to Trapper here. My most favorite killer. Trapper Bag, of course, probably the best add-on for this guy, along with setting tools. My first game is going to be using the setting tools combined with the Trapper Bag, and the Trapper Bag is really good because a lot of the downtime when, you know, setting up traps or whatever is actually going out there and finding a trap and picking it up and then bringing it back. So having a Trapper Bag and be able to hold 2 of those traps, yeah, that's going to save you a lot of time. And of course, the survivors are on a timer, or you're on a timer rather, for how long you have until they get all the generators up. So this decreases your setup time. You're going to have a lot more traps on the map. Setting tools and like Trapper Gloves, I mean, it's really nice to be able to set traps really fast, but it's not really necessary, because I mean, even when you're setting down a trap, there's like 2 parts of the animation. I mean, when you first are kneeling down, and then when you're actually prying open the bear trap, and the setting tools and Trapper Gloves only decreases the second part of that animation, but it's still really good. And of course, Honing Stone, which is a pretty crazy add-on. So if a guy gets trapped with this add-on equipped, they're going to be in dying state. So if a guy gets trapped halfway across the map, you don't have to worry. They're not going to be able to just get free and run away. They're going to be crawling around. So that's about it. There are some like logwood dye and, yeah, tar bottle. Makes your traps pretty much black. If you use this in conjunction with an offering that makes it darker, this could be good. It makes it viable to put traps out in the open, which I usually do anyway if they're in like pallet areas. fastening tool is probably good if you... So one thing that you probably want to do is if you see survivors in a lobby and you see like maybe 2 of them have toolboxes or something and you're playing Trapper, it might be a good idea to equip fastening tools and, you know, wax brick or something, or just something to kind of counter the sabotage mechanic, because you know what they're bringing. So it is definitely a good idea to adjust your add-ons, or however, depending on what sort of survivors you're going up against. Alright, so I talked for a little too long there, and we're going to go ahead and get in a game so we can see some action here. Alright, we got a rank 5, so I'm going to go ahead and use this setting tool and Trapper Bag here. Okay, let's go ahead and get in this game. Okay, so if you've seen my previous Trapper videos, you already know my general strategy, and it honestly has not changed at all. But with this Trapper Bag and setting tools, I'm going to be able to saturate the area really fast with traps. And so I see my basements right there, so I immediately start, you know, setting the traps around here. And if you haven't seen my previous Trapper videos, my strategy is to find out where my basement is and just put traps around it, so that way if a player gets trapped near my basement, I can easily take him there. And again, I also want to defend the generators closest to my basement. So the generators are like on the outskirts of the map. I'm not really too worried about. I kind of want the survivors to get those, and I want the survivors to come to me. So that way I can have a lot easier time defending. Yeah, I can't really place a trap here, so I'm just like, ah, screw it. But anyway, I want, like, if it goes down to 1 generator, I want to have those last generators all near my basement, and also where my traps are, so that way I can just have a really easy time defending. But, you know, always making sure I have 2 traps, and, you know, it's always good to trap, like, pallet areas like this one. It's kind of behind boxes, so, I mean, it's not too easy to spot. It is pretty easy to spot, but if you're chasing someone into that area, they're not going to have time to disarm, and they're going to have to come up with a better idea than trying to go through a trapped pallet. See scratch marks here, so looking for this guy, and we find him. And he has a med kit, so if we can, we want to double hit there. And I actually was holding M1, mouse 1 to charge, but I didn't do it for some reason. But we get the second hit there. And if a guy has a med kit, again, we definitely want to get him down before he can heal. Like, he's healing here. So I want to break this pallet, and I do have brutal strength, so I can break pallets easier, because definitely buys you a lot of time. So he got stuck in my trap that I just set. I set, like, he's dying, so I'm not worried. So I set that a little bit further away from the sprung trap, and then pick up the other one. Definitely a good idea to get a little good at managing your traps, especially with the Trapper Bag. Of course, you got a little extra room to work with. And normally I would wait to make sure there's no survivors trying to ninja this guy on the hook, but I immediately set the trap because I know there's such a small window in which he can ninja, so I just go ahead and set it right away. And I walk by and it starts playing music, and I didn't see a guy, fortunately, so I'm like, huh? But we do know that means there's a survivor really close by, so I'm looking for scratch marks, first of all. But I don't see any, so I know he can't be far, and there he is. And if you've noticed, there's another guy hiding here. I'm not even worried about the hooked guy. And I did get the bug there where I didn't wipe my blade on my wrist, but I didn't want to really abuse the bug, so I just kind of waited around. And that guy's hooked, and I'm not even worried about him right now. See, like right here, I go and check, and oh yeah, he sabotaged my trap there and got him unhooked. But I mean, I'm okay with getting some damage in on these guys the old-fashioned way. So everyone's injured. Pretty good, even though I don't have any survivors down or anything. Okay, so here's a questionable decision that I make here. I'm really chasing this guy, and yeah, it's good to get this guy down, but I'm on the wrong side of the map. I'm not on the side of the map that I want to be defending. So I'm really leaving all this, like the traps I have over there and the generators, I have those exposed over there, and that's really, really questionable because you definitely want to be defending the basement side of the map here. But I do make this decision to commit to chasing this guy, and I set a few traps here. And you're gonna hear like snapping over there, like they're just dismantling my defenses over there. So again, pretty questionable play here, but I did want to get someone down. So get 3 traps down pretty fast. And again, I just leave him because I want at least 3 generators defended near my basement. Because if you get it spread out to where there's like 1 or 2 generators near your basement and then there's a generator left on the other side of the map, they can just get that one that's so far away. You can't patrol that fast. They're gonna get a generator and they're gonna escape. So you definitely need the last few generators to be all on the same side of the map. So let them get the ones on the other side of the map and let them come to you, as I said. So he did get that little cheeky unhook, but of course, you know, I'm not sitting there babysitting this guy, so it's expected and it's okay to just come back and rehook him. Alright, so I've decided I've been on vacation for way too long. I decided to head back over to the other side, my side of the map. See some scratch marks there. I hear like footsteps and stuff, so definitely looking for another player here. And there he is. Barely get that hit. And just gonna continue chasing because we are near a generator or 2, so not too worried. And a bit short on that swing. It's unfortunate. So yeah, he does get that stun there. Luckily I do have brutal strength. Again, not a bad perk. Because you're always going to be breaking pallets, so it's always good to reduce that time. And tried to like wallbang him through that box. I don't know. This isn't Counter-Strike. I don't know what I was thinking. And more pallets. But it's going to be really hard for him to get away because I'm able to, you know, constantly just use my sound, and oh, he ends up running a trap. He's injured, so not really gonna get away. So I hit him before that animation finished, before the, you know, getting trap animation finished, and so he's in dying state right now. And the thing is, he's still stuck and he can still struggle, but as soon as he gets out, like I said, he's in dying state, so I can just leave him there. I'm not worried at all. So if you do hit him before the animation finishes, like, don't worry, you don't have to pick him up or anything, you just leave him there. Actually buys you more time because he has to struggle out first, then he's in dying state. But we find the medic player again, get a hit on him, but yeah, this guy's trying to heal the down player, and we end up getting 2 down. So leaving a survivor and then coming back is always good to bait out another survivor. Of course, I'm trap right away, so I can trap so fast. And with that trap there, of course, it's going to buy me a lot of time. So I am going to end up picking up that other player. I think I find them. And then just throwing them on a hook as well. Yep. And then as I'm transporting the survivor, I'm walking backwards because I know where the next hook is, but I want to keep an eye on that guy just to see if anything happens. If someone does go for him, I could make the decision to drop the current player that I had in my hands and just go after the guys trying to get an unhook. And it looks like he did go for the unhook. Honing stone's really good there. Not using it currently, but I mean, if it did anything like that, he'd be downed, so he wouldn't be able to get away there. But I figured the dude that just unhooked him would like run for that hooked player, and he was. I think I walked right by him, but I'm looking in the wrong area here. but I'm still searching because I don't see any scratch marks again, so I know he can't be too far, but I decided to, I mean, a long time ago they disarmed these traps, so I'm finally thinking about resetting them. And I'm going to check up on him real fast, and to get a generator that was kind of far away, not too worried, even though it's only one generator left. They're all right next to my basement, so should be pretty easy to patrol. But again, I'm just setting up some traps. Pick up that trap. You see scratch marks over here. Pretty easy to spot scratch marks from far away because they're so bright. But we hear foot stomps, so yeah, there we go. Does get another pallet. Just continuing to chase. Would have been ideal to get this guy hooked first, because I believe that's the high rank player. Oh, went ahead to try and cut him off, but we spot that guy, so I just figured I'd get him down. And he's healing over there, but I don't want him to... I mean, I probably could have just jumped through the window, chased, and took him down, but I decided to just trap it. And he ends up running into my other trap. So that ends up working out. And the remaining players are downed. And I decided to go for this guy because I don't want him to crawl too far away from my basement in case I can't get to my hook in time. I don't have Iron Grasp yet, so I can't transport survivors too far. And I mean, he was pretty close to my basement, but this basement isn't... Basement in the mine area isn't too good. Like, he's probably pretty close to done there. Pretty close to wiggling out. But now I just need to look for the other guy. And this will be game. Looking around. I know he can't be too far, but I eventually hear him up here on this hill. Alright, and I do set a trap here at his feet. Just in case he wiggles free, but I forgot that he was... I already hooked him before, so he instantly died. I could have waited until that guy got sacrificed and then put him on so you'd instantly get sacrificed anyway, but you do get 100 points for setting a trap, so I guess that's a plus as well. Alright, so that was the trapper bag and setting tools. As you can see, you could just set up traps like crazy, and you don't really have to worry about camping hooked players, because you can just set a trap at their feet and then just let them deal with that, and get tons of points for having to hook them multiple times and get so much damage in. Alright, let's go ahead and get in the next game. I'm going to use a little different setup. Okay, so a bunch of low ranks in this match, but I'm going to go ahead and equip the Honing Stone and Trapper Bag anyway. Show you guys how strong this Honing Stone is. Probably going to make short work of these guys. It is really hard to find a bunch of high-rank survivors to play against. I do spend a lot of time playing against a bunch of rank 20s, so I try to get some footage of, you know, more higher-ranked survivors, so it's not, you know, completely one-sided. But we are going to bust this out here, and using the Trapper Bag again, because, I mean, aside from the Honing Stone, which is pretty rare, Trapper Bag is probably one of the best add-ons for the Trapper. Alright, so I do get the camera bug here, and it's going to prove annoying. As you'll see, I can see my mask clipping through here. But luckily this match is kind of short, so... But anyways, I start to trap this pallet right away. Actually, it was a lucky guess. I didn't see my basement there. I just wanted to get some traps down right away, but my basement is here, so I decided to trap the window. And trapping the shack now, you can trap the door that I just walked through in the shack, but you kind of want to keep both those doors open, so if you're transporting a survivor to your basement, you don't like run into your trap and you don't mess yourself up. I do spot this guy, a couple guys over here. Go ahead and get some damage in. Might as well. And he's trying to get healed, and I decided to go after the fully healed guy. For some reason, missed the swing, but this guy made a bad choice going right there and end up getting him down. I get a guy trapped, and my initial reaction is to go over there and get him, but he's going to be dying, so I don't really care. And we get a little bug on that guy, and I can't pick him up, so that sucks. So we're just going to go play with the other guys. And we're going to go back to this guy who's dying because, of course, he can't get away. But we did get healed up pretty quick there, but get him back down. And get this pallet down. I'm going to go ahead and trap because this player is down, like, inside of my shack. So, and he's crawling over there, so I have more time, but he's on that side of the shack, so I can trap that door because I won't have to walk through that door. Is what I was trying to say. So we're going to order and get him, put him on a hook in the basement, and since I just set those traps up, it's going to be pretty well defended. If a survivor tries to go for a unhook, if you've seen my previous trapper videos, you probably already know what's going to happen. It's going to be kind of worse because, yeah, using honing stone in these traps. So I'm just kind of looking around because I'm not in a rush at all. 4 generators up, 2 survivors, so I'm just kind of looking, guarding that one entrance that's not trapped. And then just going to go ahead and go look around. Collecting traps, definitely not a bad idea if you have some idle time. And I thought I heard something over here, but I think it was just my imagination. But I am looking around. Yep, still can't pick him up. So whatever, just gonna have to let him bleed out. Pick up another trap. And we see Dwight trying to be sneaky up there, but not quite good enough. And he runs into a trap. And I'm like, just, you know, I got time. Got 2 traps in my hand, might as well use them. So if someone like uses a trap in an area, want to be managing your traps. So I set a trap down, kind of far, a little bit away, and then I get only in range of the sprung trap. So I make sure I pick up the right trap. And if he was downed like that, and he could have actually took advantage of that situation and crawled to the other side of my trap, and that would have made it actually really annoying. So be careful as the trapper if you're doing that sort of thing, what I just did, and as a survivor, if you see a trapper doing that. I mean, you can't get trapped if you're crawling, so crawl to the other side of the trap, and you'll make it so, yeah, he can pick you up, but he can't take you through that trap because he's going to drop you. And that last player there going for that unhook and jumped through the window, I believe, yeah, and he wasn't aware of the trap. And he's done because, I mean, he can't run away once he gets trapped with that honing stone. So we're gonna add another survivor to the collection. And the bugged guy, you know, he wants to be a part of the family, so he's gonna, you know, try and make it down there. I just had a trap just to get some 100 points, but I mean, that was a pretty quick game. Not really high-ranking survivors, but the honing stone really being overkill, honestly. If you're playing Trapper and, I mean, you have some of those things, don't kind of waste them like I did. I mean, if you see a group of survivors that are like, you know, one's rank 1, a few rank 5, and, you know, you see really high-ranked survivors, yeah, bust out the honing stone. Don't just, like, leave lobby and get scared. You know, try and play it out. Try and, you know, equip some really good add-ons for your Trapper or whoever you're playing. Unless you're really not confident in your ability to go against that high rank. But that was the Trapper, again, revisited. Hope you enjoyed the add-on usage. I am going to try and get some more ivory memento moris, and maybe we can use some of those and I'll make another killer video. But I will try to revisit survivors because of the window vaulting nerf and try and help those guys out a little more. Show you guys how to escape and survive and stuff a little better so you don't have to rely on the infinite loop window vaulting. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Hey, it's me again. I was just about to render out this video and I felt the need to, address the growth at which my YouTube channel is going at, as well as the support you guys have been giving me. If I look at the analytics here, I mean, these are really big numbers compared to what I'm used to. And I really appreciate all the positive comments everyone's been giving me. When I first made my first Dead by Daylight video, I was able to respond to everyone, telling them, thank you for watching and all that, but I'm really busy and trying to make videos, and I'm getting a lot of comments recently. So, I mean, I do appreciate everyone's positive feedback, I really do. But I'm not really, I try to answer questions, if you have a question that I see, and, I try to answer it, but if you just say, hey, I like the video, I really appreciate it, but I'm not really going to be able to respond to everyone, just because we breached that threshold to where I could interact with every single viewer. As you see, I mean, we're almost at 1,100 subscribers right now. And if I go to, since when my YouTube channel was first created back in November 2010, this kind of looks like a space shuttle launch sequence, right? And we've lifted off here. So, and I wasn't really uploading content regularly, and I have started doing that, but that's mainly because of you guys and how much interest you've showed in these videos. So again, thank you for all the support. If you keep it up, I will also keep up, or try to keep up, making these videos. And so for that, I thank everyone, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.